So by this experiment number 3, we are going to determine the thermal conductivity of that metallic component what we have been used or metal which is used there. Okay. So we'll go for that. Just a minute. Is this PDF visible to all of you? Hello? Is it okay? We'll go with this experiment number theory part today. So title of this experiment is determination of thermal conductivity of metal rod. Okay. So here we are going to determine the thermal conductivity of metal, that is aluminum metal here. So all of you are aware about the Fourier's law of heat conduction. Okay, that Fourier's law of heat conduction we are going to use while performing this experiment. These are some K values of different materials, that is copper 384, then brass, then stainless steel, aluminum, Gi. Okay, some alloys are also there like this. So you can go through the thermal conductivities of some standard materials like copper, aluminum, then silver, gold like this. So go through the thermal conductivity values of these standard materials. You should be known to these values. Okay. So one material that is non-metal is having the highest thermal conductivity value. एक नॉन मेटल आहे ज्याची थर्मल कंडक्टिव्हिटी हायेस्ट आहे. That non-metal is the diamond what you have. So go through the reason why the diamond, though it is a non-metal, is having the highest thermal conductivity value. Go through the details of that later on. So this what we have been discussed. Thermal conductivity in metals and non-metals, it is because of in metals it is because of transport of free electrons, and in non-metals it is because of the lattice vibrations that we have been discussed earlier. Now this is the Fourier's law of heat conduction known to you. Q is equal to minus Ka dt by dx. Is it correct? Now we'll go for the actual experimental setup here first. Is this setup visible clearly? Okay. Now we'll go for the experimental setup. We are having actual images of the setup that we'll see later on. Before going to that, we will see this two-dimensional image. Now see here, this particular image is for the thermal conductivity of metal rod. Go, you just observe the arrowhead or pointer where I am going to move. This is the thermal image for thermal conductivity or setup diagram for thermal conductivity of metal rod. Now here, this part what you have, it is the dimmerstat. Okay, through dimmerstat they have been given heat input here at this particular point. Now we have been used one metal rod, circular metal rod of 75 mm diameter, and the metal of which thermal conductivity we are going to determine is the aluminum material. So one metal rod of 75 mm diameter, circular diameter 75 mm of aluminum material is used in this experiment, and we are going to determine the K value of that particular metal rod. Clear? Is it clear? Is it clear? Hello? Hello? Is it clear? We are going to determine the K value of that aluminum material, metal rod. Now see here, in this we'll see the experimental setup. Here, this part what we have, that metal rod will be of some length, okay, and here left one end of that metal rod, this left side is uh, provided heater here. So you will supply the heat to the one end of the that metal rod. All of you are aware that if you heat one end of the metal rod, other end of the metal rod will get heated after some time. You will feel heat at the other end also, and that heat is heat transfer through that metal rod is because of the conduction only. Okay, so here we are going to heat this metallic rod on the left side here with the help of this heater. The connections to heater is given with the help of dimmerstat. So you can adjust the heat input here on the left side. Do you got this portion, this much only? Up to this hatching lines what you have, these hatching lines, vertical hatching lines. Do you see these vertical hatching lines here? Do you see these vertical hatching lines? Hello? Okay. So this part what we have on the left side here, this one. This is nothing but the heater part. So that metal rod is heated at this left side of this metal rod. Okay. Now heat is flowing through this metal rod in horizontal direction like this on the other end, right hand side up to other end. So from heat you will give heat on the left side and heat will be conducted on the right side of the metal rod. Here on the right side one jacket is provided there, that is cooling water jacket. So here water is passed through that hose surrounding to that metal rod, and that heat of that metal rod will be taken away by that water, and that water after heating is collected here in the measuring flask. Okay. So on left side we have the heater. Extreme left is the heating end and extreme right is the cooling end, cooling water jacket end of this experiment what you have. And in between this hatching lines on the left side and the hatching lines on the right side, you can observe here. This one from this particular point. Hello? From this one up to this end. This is what you have the test section. Okay, the length from this length of this test section is about 200 mm, that is 20 centimeter. Do you got this? Hello? Do you got this? Okay. Now, as we know, heat is given on the left side. Heat is flowing in longitudinal direction horizontally. There may be chance that heat may flow in radial outward direction through the metal rod also. इथे आपण काय assume करतोय that heat is flowing in horizontal direction only, like from left side to right side. That is one dimensional heat flow is there. But there may be chance that heat may flow in radial outward direction also. Okay. So to avoid the heat flow in radial outward direction, whatever the metal rod is present in this test section is there, that is surrounded with some insulating material. That is surrounded with insulating material. This is the metal rod in the test section, this part, and it is surrounded with the help of some insulating material, that is glass wool insulation. Okay, fiberglass insulation is there, that is provided surrounding to this metal rod in the test section to avoid the heat loss in radial direction. Is it correct? Do you observe this? Do you observe this? This is the insulation what they have been provided. This is the metal rod part, and on this side or surrounding to that metal rod, circular metal rod, they have provided the insulation. Clear? Hello? Okay. Now this test section is having the three parts. You can observe here. This is on the left side. This is first AA section. You can observe this A and this. This is the AA section. At the middle of this test section, we have the BB section. And at the end, right side, we have the CC section. You can observe here. So this is the AA section. This is the BB section. And this is the CC section. Is it correct? Do you observe these three sections clearly? Hello? Do you observe the three sections? Correct. Okay. Now we'll see how much thermocouples are used here. That we'll see. Total 12 thermocouples are used in this experimental setup, T1 to T12. Out of that, you can observe T1 to T6. These are located on the surface of the metal rod. टेस्ट सेक्शन मध्ये जो मेटल रॉड आहे त्याच्या सरफेस वरती T1 to T6 thermocouples आहेत. So T1 to T6 thermocouples are located over the test section surface of the metal rod. This is T1 what you have. You can observe here. This is T2, T3, T4, T5 and T6. Do you got this? Hello? Please reply anybody. Okay. Now with the help of this T1 to T6, what you will get? You will get the surface temperature of the metal rod. Now on the left side, as we know, right side, as we know, we have been provided the cooling water. So T7 is the thermocouple which will give you the water inlet temperature to cooling water jacket. And T7 is the T8 is the water outlet temperature from the cooling water jacket. So T7 is the inlet temperature of water. T8 is the outlet temperature of water coming from this water jacket on the right side. Clear? So T7 and T8 you will measure the water temperatures. Clear? Hello? Hello? Okay. Now this total 8 thermocouples we have been discussed. Remaining 4 thermocouples are there. As we know, this metal rod, to avoid the heat flow in radial direction, they have provided insulation surrounding to that metal rod in test section. But that insulation is not 100% insulation. There may be chance that heat may also flow in radial direction irrespective of we have been provided the insulation. There may be chance. Okay. So that insulation is not 100% insulation. Though we have been provided insulation, there will be the heat flow in radial outward direction also. So to measure that heat flow in radial outward direction, they have placed total 4 thermocouples in radial direction in the insulation. So here you can observe this is the T9 thermocouple and this is the T10 thermocouple. So T9 and T10, these are located in A and BB section. या दोन्हीच्या मध्ये तो प्लेस केलेले आहेत दोन thermocouple. Similarly, T11 and T12, these are located in BB and CC section. Okay. Out of that, T9 and T11, those are located at a radial distance of 50 mm from the center of metal rod. From the center of metal rod at a distance of 50 mm radially, they have placed T9 and T11 thermocouple. T9 is in A and BB section and T11 is in BB and CC section. Similarly, T10 and T12, these are located at a distance of 75 mm from the center of metal rod in A, BB section and BB and CC section respectively. So this T9 to T12, these thermocouples are located in insulating material to calculate the heat flow in radial direction. Out of that, T9 and T10, these are placed in A and BB section, and T11 and T12, these are located in BB and CC section. Clear? Any doubt regarding this? Any doubt regarding this? Hello? Any doubt regarding this? Hello? Okay. Now we'll go for the next part. All these thermocouple connections are taken here in the junction box, similar to earlier experiments what we have been done. With the help of probes and the temperature indicator, you can place that probe in this junction box so that you will get the corresponding temperatures from T1 to T12. Okay. Now this water is supplied here at the right side. That water outlet quantity or water quantity supplied here, you can measure with the help of some measuring flask. Okay. So for some time interval, so let's say 200 ml, how much time is there, that we are going to measure, and with the help of that time and all that, you can find out the flow rate of water supplied here on the cooling water jacket. Clear? Now we'll go for the actual experimental setup images. Do you got this image, experimental setup image? How many thermocouples are there in this setup? Hello? How many thermocouples are used in this experiment? Hello? 12 thermocouples, correct. See, out of that, which 6 thermocouples are for surface temperature? Which 6 thermocouples are for surface temperature? T1 to T6, correct. And for water temperature inlet and outlet? 7 and 8. And insulation temperatures? 9 to 12. 9 and 11 are at what radial distance? Nine and 11 at what radial distance? Just a minute. Tell me that at what radial distance those are placed. At what radial distance those are placed? T9 and T11. Hello? At what distance T9 and T11? 50 mm from the center of metal rod. Okay. And T10 and T12 are at 75 mm from the center of metal. Clear? On which side heater is placed? Left or right? And right side is the cooling water jacket. Now we'll go for the actual setup images. Just a minute. Is it visual? Okay. See, as we discussed, this is the left side end where the heater is heater connections are given. This inside this we have the metal rod of 75 mm diameter. From this end, left side to right side, throughout we have the metal rod. And this is what you have the test section from this point to this point. Do you got this? From this point to this point, this is our test section of 200 mm length. And here we have the heater, and on the right side we have the cooling water jacket. Clear? Now over the surface, as we know, 75 mm diameter metal rod is throughout from this left side to right side, and inside this test section surrounding to this metal rod they have provided insulating material, that is glass wool. याच्या आतमध्ये glass wool insulation आहे, and at the center we have the metal rod. Clear? And on the left side you can observe here one blue pipe is there, this blue one. This is the cold water inlet, and that cooling water, cold water will take away the heat, and that this is the hot water line what you have, and this is the cold water line. Okay, so this is one thermocouple, and this is one more. So this is the T7 and this is the T8, and on the surface from this end to this end of the metal rod they have placed the 6 thermocouples. This total length from this end to this end of the test section is 200 mm. So T1 thermocouple is at x is equal to 0, let's say. T2 will be at 40 mm. Then T3 is at 80 mm. Then T4 is at 120 mm. T5 is at 160 mm, and lastly at 200 mm T6 thermocouples there. So T1 to T6 you can get the surface temperatures of that metal rod. T7 is the inlet water temperature, T8 is the outlet water temperature. Okay, and remaining 4 thermocouples, that is T9 to T12, with the help of that you can get the temperature inside the insulation, and that is used to calculate the heat loss in radial direction. That we'll see in the calculation part. Okay, similarly, similar to our previous experiment, these all thermocouples are taken here inside this junction box, and with the help of these 2 probes, red and black probe, with the help of temperature indicator you can measure the temperature T1 to T12. Clear? Now we'll go for, this is actual setup. This is what we have, the dimmer stat, then voltmeter, ammeter, and this is the temperature indicator. And we have discussed the this particular setup in detail with the help of 2D diagram earlier. Clear? Any doubt regarding the setup, construction, and the thermocouple arrangement? Any doubt regarding this? Okay, so we'll go for the experimental procedure now. How we are going to perform this particular experiment, that we'll discuss. See, this setup we have been discussed. Okay, now we'll go for the, can you tell me the name of material of the metal rod? Correct, aluminum metal rod is there. Now this procedure is given here. You can go through the procedure, like you can start the water circulation through water jacket initially, then you can switch on the heater and you can adjust the heat input by adjusting the voltage supplied with the help of dimmer stat. Okay, then you have to note down the initial readings of the while start of that experiment. Okay, and after that at an interval of 10 minutes each you are going to note down the temperatures. Okay, T1 to T12. Clear? And you have to note down this temperature or parameters up to steady state condition. Clear? You have to plot the graph of temperature of metal surface versus distance along the metal rod. That graph also you have to plot. Then based on the slopes, you will calculate the thermal conductivity at different A, BB and CC sections. That we'll see in actual calculation part later on. These are the observations. 75 mm diameter of the metal rod. Then area, cross-sectional area of that metal rod is given. Then they have given radial locations of thermocouples T10 and T12. Then that is R2 radius is given 75 mm. Then radial locations of T9 and T11 thermocouples, it is also given to you, known values. Then half length of insulating shell considered for radial leakage. The distance between A and BB section, left side A and the central BB section, that distance is 0.1 meter, that is 10 centimeter, and total length of test section is 200 mm, that is 0.2 meter. Next, thermal conductivity of the insulating material which is placed surrounding to that metal rod in test section is 0.038. These observations are given directly to you. Then distance between each thermocouple is given on the surface of metal rod. T1 and T2 will have a distance of 40 mm. T2 and T3 again 40 mm. T3 and T4 again 40 mm, like this. From x is equal to 0 we have the T1 and x is equal to 200 we have the T6. Okay. Do you got this? So now this is what you have the observation table. This is what you have the observation table for this particular experimentation. So here you can observe metal rod surface temperatures, that is T1 to T6. Then T7, T8 water temperatures, T9 and to T12, these are the insulating wall temperatures, temperatures inside the insulation. And lastly, one more parameter we are going to measure is the time required for 50 ml of water collection through the water jacket. Okay, so that we are going to take later on. So this is what you have the observation table. Initial readings you will measure at time t is equal to 0, and at an interval of 10 minutes each you will take the temperature readings up to steady state condition. Once you got the steady state condition, you will go for the calculation part. So this calculation part will go through in detail while the when I give you the this readings or actual experimental setup readings later on. Okay, so we are going to find out the K values at different thermal sections, that is A, BB and CC sections. So this calculation part, when I give you readings, at that time we will go for this calculation part in detail. Okay, so this experimental setup as we discussed earlier. So these observations of temperatures, then that heat input values and the water collection, timing for water collection, that we are going to take. Okay, and with the help of that we'll do the calculations. Now here we are going to keep the heat input constant throughout the experiment, and at the same time whatever water supplied on the cooling water jacket side, that also we are going to keep the constant throughout the experiment. We are not going to change it at all. Okay, so for that constant heat input we are going to take the readings of the temperatures up to steady state, and once you got the steady state we'll go for the calculation part. Any doubt regarding this? Any doubt regarding this? Okay. Hold on. See, this is what you have the experiment number 3. We'll go for the uh, actual reading and calculation part in next practical in detail. That readings and all calculation part in detail in next practical. Those who have not submitted the experiment number 1 and 2, the deadline was for Sunday. It is extended up to Thursday now. So those who have not submitted it, they can submit as early as possible to avoid the late marks. Some students have submitted, so those are also evaluated. They can see the evaluation on the Google Classroom. Hello. Any doubt regarding this experimental setup?